Let's get the show on the road.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matthew Terry. I'm a guest on this podcast, but for some odd reason, I'm doing the introductions. Once again, I'm Matthew Terry, and I am joined by Rex Atkins. Oh, boy, I'm fucking this up already. I'm joined by Rex Atkins. It's been a while, guys. We're in a pandemic. I am joined. Why do I still have this on my screen here? I am joined by Rex Atkins, Easy E, Eric Kearney, and he said just call him Joe. So just Joe.
There was already a Just Joe.
Sorry,
can't pick true. Just Joe.
Dark Side of the Ring coming up next pretty soon. Thank you, Matthew Terry. Appreciate it. Sorry to put you on the spot, but we just thought, what's the point of having a great ring announcer like you and not, utilizing your announcing skills, right?
And just look how great I was.
It was great. It was great.
It has been a long time since I've had to do any kind of ring announcing.
I've got my White Man Can't Jump hat on today because today the basketball game dropped on YouTube.
Yesterday, yeah.
Oh yeah, today's Monday. I don't know what date it is.
Stupid idiot. Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you guys? Matthew Terry, did you get a chance to see the basketball game?
I did not. I was all excited because I saw the link for it and I clicked it, and then it said going live in 13 minutes, and I'm just like, oh crap! I got to give my son a bath, and then I had to do some family stuff, and then
that's okay.
So I didn't see it. So what happened?
Well, let me just say, as an outsider watching it, you guys looked a little on the gas side, I gotta say.
A little.
We took tons of steroids for it.
Yeah, I fully announced I was gassed at one point.
So I saw so you guys were checking it. You guys are doing the dip dodge, trying to get to the net, and then you're totally gassed, and they're like, okay, it's 2-0, and I'm like, I thought, okay. Thought we were farther in.
We missed a lot of baskets.
But Rex did come back. Rex, you came back pretty. You got it down to 7-9 at one point or something.
Look. Okay, this game was to 10. Okay, and it took us an hour and a half. There was a 16-minute game on YouTube, but this was an hour and a half of filming to get 10 baskets just to win the game.
17 baskets.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying to get to 10, for somebody to win. It should not take that long. It should have been a 10, 15-minute game.
Eventually, Eric would just take a shot, and Rex would be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, just turn into 21.
At one point, I just let Rex go around me, and he still missed the layup.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that. I mean, it was...
He's blaming the ball, by the way.
I'm blaming the ball. I'm blaming the wind. It was a very windy day, and also they had a very cheap ball, the same ball that Eric had when he was a kid that got popped when his dad...
It was a giveaway ball. It wasn't even a...
It's a very cheap ball, and it was overinflated, like a carnival ball.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to say that it was hard to watch.
Hey, I didn't edit, okay? I didn't edit the video.
That's not why.
No, it would have been... No, Joe, you're wrong. If it would have been cut down and we would have just had the highlights, it would have been very easy to watch, but it was 16 minutes of us...
Well, yeah, all the 17 baskets.
All the funny parts of us falling down and being winded and shooting baskets.
All right.
See, I just saw a thumbnail, and it was just Eric, and it just looked like, his insides were just going to, project out of his body. It was kind of like...
I think he rolled his ankle at one point.
I did, yeah. It was, Matthew Terry, it was not good. Basketball is not my sport. It's very difficult. I take everything back I've ever said about basketball players.
Also, so in the movie, in White Man Can't Jump, he says, you either smoke or be smoked. You guys both look like smokers, for sure. You both.
Did you work on that joke, Joe? Was that one that you wrote for this?
How dare you? Because
24 hours?
I'd like to see you play, Joe.
I was just gonna say I was gonna come down and ref, and I would have been blown. It was 38 degrees that day or something. It was the hottest day we've had all year.
It was so hot. It was awful.
Matthew Terry, you know what summers are like here in Niagara. This isn't California heat. This is humidity. This
very
is
heavy.
Yes,
very heavy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is I opened the back door to my house, and 5 minutes later I'm like sweating, and just and that's with the air conditioner going. Like just you open a window, and you're just sweating. Like the humidity just comes up and like, smacks you in the face.
Now I can use the humidity as kind of like an excuse also, but at the same time there were two sexy boys playing on the other half of the court that was started before and were there after, and they were completely okay.
And they were making all of their baskets.
Yeah.
And the one guy was just shredded.
He had like an 8-pack.
Yeah, but could they do a cradle shock? Probably not, right? So, I mean...
Well...
I don't think we could do a cradle shock after that.
All right. How dare you? I can do the cradle shock.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, you guys did good. I mean, it was it's still very entertaining. You did a good job. Eric rolled his ankle at one point, it looked like.
And the moral of the story here is Rex has to drink some tea made from my sweaty underwear from that game.
That's true, folks. If this is your first, that's right. Monday. This is Monday. So the announcement is that Rex has to drink Eric's ball tea.
Yeah. So get ready for that live on the 100th episode.
Episode 100, June 25th.
Where have you put your undies, Eric? So that
they're in a Ziploc bag fermenting.
Fuck, I regret saying that now.
He gave him the idea.
Yeah, he did.
But on the topic of basketball, like it just reminds me.
On the topic of balls.
On the topic of balls. No, I was just gonna say because you're talking about like the two sexy boys making all their shots and everything. I work for the YMCA as a maintenance worker, and it always annoys me that when I'm in the gym, like doing something, and there's guys playing basketball, and they can throw it through their legs, and they can put it around, and they're spinning around, they're doing backflips, and they're just jucking and jiving this way, that way, they shoot, and they miss. Every single time they miss. They can do all the tricks, but they can't put it in the basket.
Yeah, that looked very similar to what Eric was going between the legs and going behind.
He lost it almost every time he went between the legs.
No, I didn't. That's not true.
Did. There was one point where Eric was literally bent half over, staring at the ball and with one hand just bouncing it. Like he had to look at the ball to bounce.
There was one point where Rex tried to go around me and lost the ball and had to run after it.
Hey, there was one time, though, I did put it through your legs and I almost got a layup. That was pretty sweet. I didn't see that on the video. I'm pretty pissed.
I didn't see that on the video. I'm not sure that existed, actually.
I think I might have saw it. I saw you go up for a layup. But
I did one where I literally went through his legs with the ball, went around, got the ball, but then I missed the layup. It was pretty smooth.
Rex also changed the rules halfway through the game.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. You just don't know how to play street ball.
No, listen. You are looking at the wrong things.
If he doesn't know how to play, he won.
Yeah, because it was his
under
ball.
Under your rules, I won.
You barely won. Is it really a victory? Is it really a victory?
If you win by an inch or a mile.
It was nothing to do with a skill that you won. You got lucky. The ball bounced in an extra couple times.
It was the lack of your skill.
Our skills were equal with that ball and that wind. We didn't really differ that much.
I'll do it again.
At one point, I saw Rex like go right, left, and then like sweeps it around, goes around Eric, and then goes for a layup. And I was like, oh, he had a black dad for sure. As a kid, he had a black dad.
Except he missed.
But then other times shooting, missing. Oh yeah, he's got a white mom. He's got a white mom.
The amount of air balls that we had was just astronomical.
Wind.
Well, that's because the ball was overfilled.
No, that's the bounce. So when it hits something, it just like bounce. Every time we shot, if it didn't go straight through the hoop and didn't touch anything, it would go in. But like if it hit anything, it would bounce like 5 feet.
I thought inflated balls help. That's what Tom.
No, it's inflate gate.
About. He got
inflate gate.
Okay, yours is inflate. His was deflate, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well,
so inflatable, like your first girlfriend, Joe.
We drove around to like how many? Well, I didn't even go to the first one you went. I think there was at least 4 basketball courts that we tried to get to. Some were fenced off,
and you finally found one that was half full. Like the other half was the only one you could find.
First of all, it wasn't even. It was completely full.
And you're like, we'll just wait.
We like idiots. We stood around waiting for these guys to get off, and then eventually, I think they knew that we were waiting, so they went and played with the good people, and then we took half the court, and they left out of embarrassment.
They were like, we don't want to be on camera by accident.
Well, yeah, it must be a little disheartening when a camera comes out and just like for 5 minutes you're just like, hey, what's going to happen here? This is going to be some pretty cool stuff. And then,
are they shooting an and one video? No.
Some of those shots, maybe if they were in slow motion, they might have been. they might have been all right.
I had a couple 3-pointers. I'll tell you.
I did see that.
Worth
Yeah.
1 point.
I think that the video should have had more fun stuff in it. Like, for instance, we should have got interviews with the other people who they're playing.
Yeah.
Like their opinions on the game and get them watching it and stuff.
Yeah, I guess, or even Holden and like Jesse and the guys that were just kind of watching around, like who were like,
yeah, we didn't get anything with any of those guys. I don't know why.
No.
well, maybe because there was a lot to edit of the game.
Yeah, but it would have been less to edit because they could have threw in more of that stuff, less of us breathing heavily and dribbling for 20 seconds straight and not doing anything.
Holden just wanted to exploit us for our lack of cardio.
That's all it was. He's just trying to get us unbooked from anywhere ever. I will get all the spots.
No,
So
it was.
we're-
I mean, it was good.
You talked about the basketball on one of my shows, Eric, that it got popped years ago. Where did this one come from?
Holden Albright found it online and knew the story of it getting popped by the ambulance, and he purchased it and gave it to me as a gift.
Did he tell you how much he paid for that?
Yeah, it was like it ended up being like $50 or something.
No, he said
shipping.
he said it was 90 after shipping.
90
and
after
he was
shipping,
he was high, like because he was super high, heard the story, thought it was funny, found the ball, was like, this is gonna be great, and then ordered it while high, and then was like, go.
He wanted to make me cry, and I don't cry. So he thought when I saw the ball, it was going to bring up all this emotion, and I'm over that. That was 20 years ago.
To be fair though, I did hit you in the face with a ball to stop you from crying. You were just starting to talk about your dead dad, and then I hit you in the face with a ball, and then all of a sudden it took your mind off it.
You think if you hadn't have done that, it would have
No, that's why I did it. I did it for him. I heard him talking about it. I was like, you know what? I got to go in there and save him.
That's really
he
nice.
hit me in the face with the ball. Can I tell you how I knew he was going to lose this game? He aimed for my lower back.
I did.
And somehow got here in the face.
I rifled the ball thinking it's going to hit him right in the center of the back, and it just hit him right in the face, right in the side of the face.
Like it somehow went around where he was.
I was going to say it went out, circled around, hit him in the face.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a very boomerang-ish throw because it did him in the front of the face somehow, and he was facing away from me.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, then I whipped the ball at him, and I tried to take him out at the knees, but he didn't fall.
That would have been the best.
It did hit your knee, but
if I would have just ate shit when he hit me in the leg, that would have been the best ending to that little sequence.
I think he still kicked you in the balls and stuff. So I mean, there was still vengeance.
Yeah,
I did. And I finished the promo. I came back and finished the promo. I'm a professional. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The sequence at the beginning when you were shooting free throw, that was to decide who starts with the ball.
We also missed a lot of those.
That was also something that I feel in the video should have been better explained what we were doing, because it was kind of like vague and like under our breath that we were saying that. It should have we should have made sure there was some sort of like deliberate, like this is to see who goes first thing.
Otherwise it just looks like practice or something.
Yeah, and it took forever. That was like 15 minutes alone just to see who goes first.
It was so long. And then every time I sunk a basket, he sunk the basket because it was the first to miss.
Okay.
And then we just miss.
Maybe that should have been the game, was just
21
first to miss. Yeah. Because that kind of what it kind of ended up being, because eventually
because Rex changed the rules. There's no point if you shoot the ball so his thing was every time you take a shot, it's the other guy's turn. You just bring it back, you check it. So there's no rebounds. So there's no point going. So we blew ourselves up in the first half, chasing rebounds.
You ran so hard a few of those times. Like you looked, like
I was playing the game of basketball, sir.
No, you
Anyway, it went well.
Yeah, well is not how I would describe that, but that's fine. Yeah, so Matthew Terry, Rex and I not good at basketball. We are gonna stick to our day jobs and weekend wrestling. That's what's gonna happen here.
I used to be really good, like when I was younger, I used to be really good at like free throws and like 21 or horse or things like that. And when I got to high school, I'm just like, I'm gonna play on the basketball team. Yeah, but you got to run when you play basketball. And I was a fat kid. I was a very fat kid. And running was not my friend whatsoever. Yeah, so I used to be really good at just
Okay, Matt's just gonna stay at the top of the key for the whole game. You just get him the ball.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then I kind of jogged down to the other, and I was the tallest kid. I was the fattest kid, but I was the tallest kid. So like they would stick me under the net on the other end and just like grab the ball and like pull it away from people, and that it was very simple explanations.
I played basketball on my public school, like. And it was such a small school, like it was kind of like, yeah, we'll take anybody. So we ended up going and playing like other little schools, and that's where I saw my first black person. And they were
I thought you were gonna say boob.
No, they're like, Joe, Joe, you're on him, and I'm like, who? They're like, the only black guy on the team, and I was like, ha. So anyway, needless to say, I got pwned, as the gamers say.
I thought you were gonna say like, so I went in my bag and got my rope real quick, and they were like, no, Joe, no, we're not in Godrich anymore.
No,
Jesus,
no,
Rex, come
Sorry,
on.
Matthew Terry. People in Godrich are white and racist, is what we're saying.
Well, I mean, not all of us, but a lot of us.
Joe doesn't even deny it. He's like, yeah,
me.
no, a lot of them are.
Well, my first thought when I heard Godrich was, oh, Jeff Black, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Jeff Black.
I guess maybe he was the first black because his last name's Black, and maybe that, but I don't think that counts.
Terrible.
But later on, eventually, the nice black feller that I played against,
the nice black feller,
yeah, which is like the most southern way to say it. Anyway, he became good friends, me and him. He was in my auto shop, and he really liked like Motorhead and like AC/DC, and I was like, well, that's surprising. I mean, I'm not.
Why is that surprising?
Why is that surprising?
Why is that surprising?
I'm not trying to say. I was just thought maybe more like DMX.
I just thought he'd be in a Tupac Shakur.
Yeah,
I love DMX.
Yeah, that's racial profiling right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You should work at the border.
I mean, it's not like I asked him like, do you listen to traditionally black music or what's the? And he was like, what does that mean? What's traditionally?
What? No, I thought you were doing an accent. What does this mean?
What does this mean? It's like Apollo Crews' new accent.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Oh yeah, that's so weird to me.
Oh, we're gonna talk about wrestling? Fuck.
Occasionally it pops in.
I haven't seen a WWE or AEW show in a long time.
Yeah, I think I heard Apollo Crews. They might change his name to Bile.
I liked it, Joe.
Jesus.
It's click, and it will say click, click, Bile. That's how.
Anything to pop Rex, eh?
Yeah, I know. That's
right, Joe.
That's right. What's wrong? Where's he going?
God.
Oh, his cat ran out. Oh, most of his ass. That's great. Anyway, thanks, Patreon. Patreon, enjoy that. Oh, it's the cat. Look, he's chased his cat. Anyway,
his ass. Matthew Terry, have you told this Bret Hart sunglass story on your podcast?
No, I have not.
Let's pick it up.
Let's
preface it by what we were talking about before. This weekend, I found. Sometimes I was telling Eric. Sometimes I randomly type in the word Bret Hart into like Kijiji or like Facebook buy and sell just to see what comes up, and sometimes there'll be the odd thing. So I found a pair of Bret Hart shades, and it was only about 40 minutes away from Goddard. So I said, hey man, I'll take them. I'll e-transfer you right now. I'm on the way. And he's like, well, come look at them tomorrow. So I got there. There's this big pile of rubber wrestlers. As a lot of people know, I'm into the rubs. So I said, yeah, I'll take all these. And then I said, so these glasses here, these Bret glasses, where did you get them? And he said, well, me and my sister went to a wrestling show in Michigan. Bret came to the ring, took them off, and put them on my sister's head. And I'm like, so these are like the real deal Bret Hart glass. Like these aren't just you got them from the souvenir stand. Like he took them off and set them on his head. And like years ago, I found the glasses that he wore in the Iron Man match. And they were autographed, and they had this stuff, like they had some sort of proof that they were the real thing. And they were like $1,500 US or something they were going for. I thought about it, but I didn't get them. But anyway, so I'm like, wow, this is like kind of a cool little piece. He actually took them off.
You would think they wouldn't be 1,500 because he lost that match, but that's cool.
It's not, the matches that he lost weren't about. Anyway, so we were just talking about the Bret Hart shades, and Matthew Terry owned a pair of those, correct?
Yep, and I got my ass kicked for it.
Oh,
I got my ass kicked. I owned them like 2 weeks. When I got home, my mom said, "Where's your sunglasses?" And I said, "A guy took them."
So let's tell the story. So you got them at a show, or where did you order them?
No, I went to a house show,
Okay.
and I bought the glasses. I bought the wraparound shades.
Yeah.
The mirror glasses there.
Were they silver or pink? Do you remember?
They were silver.
Okay.
They were silver. And 3 weeks, it wasn't that long, because my mom used to love to tell a story, but yeah, it was 3 weeks after I got these glasses. I was going to summer camp. I was I guess I would have been a scout by that point. And my mom's, don't bring your glasses. And I know they say I should bring sunglasses. I'm gonna bring these Bret Hart glasses. And I brought them. And one of the other troops, it was Camp Massaweepy in the New York State.
Me so sleepy?
No, Massaweepy.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So went down there, and there was a whole bunch of American troops, and there was one Russian troop, and then us. We were the only Canadian troop. And went one of the other troops, I believe they were from, I'm pretty sure they were from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. And so
scumbags.
They invited us to a campfire in their little site. And I brought my glasses, or I always had them on me. And the next day I couldn't find them, looking all over. And I figured they must have fallen out of my pocket at some point. And one of the guys from the other troop, I saw him at mess hall, and he's wearing the wraparound shades. And I just walked up and said, "Hey, dude, where'd you get those?" And he goes, "Oh, we found them next to the campfire." I'm like, "Oh, those are mine. Like, I lost them. Can I get them back?" And not even a negotiation. He's just like, "Well, you're going to have to fucking fight me for them." And at 11
that's
years
such a
old,
Detroit thing to say.
Yeah, isn't
like
it?
that's just yeah.
And I just remember, and this is in mess hall, and I said it like, "No, give me back my glasses." And as soon as we left mess hall, I said, "Give me my glasses." And he said, and he just like, "Well, you got to." And before I just know it, like it accelerated really quickly, and we fought outside of mess hall, and I got my ass kicked.
And did not get the glasses back.
And did not get my glasses back.
That kid's badass.
And that kid grew up to be that little kid from Michigan grew up to be Eminem.
No, no.
Okay,
This
maybe
was,
not.
You know what?
Rhino,
I give myself a little credit. Why? Because my I guess my leader, my troop leader, he gave me credit because this was a very large black boy, and I went out and I got my ass kicked.
Yeah, you had no shot.
I didn't.
Just like Joe in basketball.
Right.
It was just
my leaders, my
Rex
leader.
in basketball.
I remember it was Scouter Johnson. He said, "Hey, like you went right at him. You didn't think twice." And I said like something. "I want my glasses back."
Just half your face hanging up. I want my glasses back.
And I remember saying like, "Well, can't you go get them?" And like, "Well, no." Like, I don't know why. I don't know why my leaders didn't like. Well, they belong to him.
because they were also scared of him.
Well, no,
they didn't want to get their asses kicked by a child.
Here's the thing: you either win and then, you either lose and then you don't get your glasses back, or you win, you get your glasses back, but it's a hate crime and you get arrested. So, probably, really not a.
The kid wasn't wrong. I think that's how they're raised in Detroit. Like even Michigan, I'm pretty sure like the license plate underneath it says "Finders Keepers." Like that's what the motto is for the state. So
set himself up for a joke.
But I remember like that was a rough looking troop. So maybe I don't remember what the leaders looked like, but maybe they were some rough dudes too.
I'm guessing if you did win the fight and got your glasses back, the entire troop would come back the next night.
Why? Why do you think that?
I feel like they would have banded together.
But that's fine. That's fine because I remember our troop. We got into another fight, and all of us were just.
Where do you go to summer camp?
Eric, do you think they would have like came and fought him, or do you think they would have just drove by?
Shut up, Joe.
I mean, I drove by just to check to see.
No, I think they would have came back and fought him.
Okay.
Oh, they probably would have, but I would have had.
I wish I had Nation of Domination on the soundboard.
I don't know about that troop, but I know my fellow campers. I know we backed each other up. I remember once one of our campers got in a fight, and like I'm from like a farm town, and we always had this mentality, just kind of like a bunkhouse match. That's why I've always like related with bunkhouse matches because you just let the two guys fight, and the whole idea between a legitimate bunkhouse fight is. Just people, you surround them and they don't leave until it's settled. And like if they try to leave, no, get back in there and finish this. And I remember, like, from the area that was a mentality. And I remember that the other troop, a couple of them jumped in, and then, like, just all of us, just like, screw you. And all of us went after it. And, like, yeah. There wasn't a lot of punches thrown with, like, the people coming in, but there was, like, a lot of grab, kind of like a hockey brawl, just kind of like, you know, get out of here.
Did you
like,
consider maybe rap battling him at the shelter?
Why would he rap battle him?
Because he could be
shelter?
like, everybody from the
the shelter. It was camp. It wasn't a shelter.
It wasn't a shelter.
He wasn't poor. He was at summer camp.
That was the name of the place that they battled in 8 Mile, was the shelter. Hey, we're all battling at the shelter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen that.
You got
everybody from the 313.
You got to remember, this is like 32 years ago. I don't know if rap battle was a thing. I don't know if
you guys could have, like, break dance or something. Or is it called broke dance?
Broke dance. Yeah, it'd be like Step Up or one of those movies where it's like you guys have a dance battle. Yeah.
Speaking of fights, here's a terrible segue. It's time to fight. That's your podcast, right?
That is my podcast.
And you got a huge event coming up, and that's why we wanted you here today, because we want to promote this thing. We're taking part in it.
Well, okay. You want to talk about wrestling with ALS?
Yeah, okay. It's not. I thought it had its time to fight on the poster as well. I thought it was hosted by you, right? By its time
no, it is. It is.
Yeah, because you do this almost yearly, minus COVID.
I do this almost yearly. Wrestling with ALS started 10 years ago. I don't know how much. Whoa, your screen just got really smoky.
The board is on fire.
They call me Smokey Rex.
I'm sitting here just like, holy shit, Rex is on fire.
Oh my God.
Why is he not panicking? His room is just engulfed in smoke.
Yeah, that's just his gimmick. It's
that's his vape. He just keeps hitting it. That's why he sucks at basketball.
Wow. He almost came back.
Yeah, well, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's not you're so old if you use, God, you're old. Jesus. You know, the corn, when the corn's as high as an elephant's eye. Fucking old Eric.
Anyway, wrestling with ALS.
So wrestling with ALS, Eric, you wrestled on the very first one. You wrestled on the very first ALS, which you weren't supposed to, or you weren't booked on it.
I was not.
But Eddie had his ring stolen or something?
Yep.
Yeah, Eddie Osborne had his ring stolen, and he contacted me and said, hey, I had to cancel my show. These guys just want to wrestle. Do you have some spots for it? I'm like, yeah, come on down. And it was Jeff and Joey Allen?
And
you.
And Ice.
And Ice.
Oh.
Yeah. And we came down, so that... What an awesome story. Yeah. So I showed up to Boomers. We were supposed to be doing a show in Hamilton. I showed up. No ring is set up. I made the joke, like, what happened? Your ring get stolen? And he was not happy about it. And then he thought I did it. He thought it was like a practical joke. And I was like, no, I just assumed, like, I just thought we were waiting on something. Wow. So he calls you, sends a couple of guys up there. So Ice and I do the tag team, and as a rib on Eddie, we got announced as the Ringless Warriors.
Wow.
It was good times, yeah.
The thing I remember the most about that match is I was using the 6-sided ring, and Jeff Black bellowing out, there's too many damn sides on this thing, because he's trying to, like... He went to, like, bounce off the ropes. He turns around, there's a turnbuckle, and he's just like, oh!
Yeah, because you were the one who introduced the 6-sided ring into Ontario, pretty much.
Not Ontario, because I bought it off of UWA out of Ottawa.
Right.
But, yeah, the Niagara region, yeah. And Rex, you were on the first one, too. You wrestled as Zach Storm.
Well, I'll be damned. I don't remember.
Yeah, I know. Every time I bring up that match, every single time, and I wish I had it at the ready to say, like, here you go, Rex, because every time I bring it up to him, he's just like, yeah.
That would have been a decent match, I think. Rex.
It was, except that Zach did the 450 and put his knees into Rex's ribs. I remember.
And then Rex punched him in the core.
Rex doesn't remember any of this?
I actually don't know.
No, he doesn't. Well, so I wish I had the match at the ready, but I should have.
So when are you? When's the big date for?
Okay, I'm sorry. We're kind of getting off track here. So wrestling with ALS. Every year it was a wrestling event. It started off because a good friend of mine, my best friend as a child, his father, again from a small farm town. My dad was a long haul truck driver, so everybody watched out for everybody. And his father, Jerry, was one of the ones that would always be, asking my mom, like, is Matt doing okay? Does Matt need a talking to? Like, literally, like, does Matt need a talking to? Does Matt need to be, does Matt need a whooping? Like, whatever. Like, that was how our town was. And in a good way. Like, but, and like through the years, Jerry, Brendan is my best friend. Through the years, Jerry, he watched after my dad left. He would check in on me. He became a coworker. Him and I played competitive darts on the same team, and so I grew up with him literally. And then no surprise because it's the whole story. He contracted ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and when he passed, circumstances kept me from going when he passed. And not long after, a friend of mine who had a band, he said, hey, let's do a joint thing together. I said, great. He says, let's do it for charity. And it wasn't that long after Jerry had passed. So I'm like, let's do it for ALS. Great. Wrestling with ALS happened. So I think we put on six ALSs, and then circumstances we had to take a couple breaks. But this year, it's a 3-day thing. It's October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And it's going to be podcasts and wrestling events. Cool. So all day Friday, or not all day Friday, but Friday evening, and then all day Saturday, all day Sunday. It'll be podcasts, and then every night will be punctuated with live wrestling.
Sweet.
And maybe
that's cool.
Maybe dirty podcasts after the wrestling, because we've been kind of discussing that. Some of the podcasts, they the language is a little blue, and we're going to do the whole thing live, or as live as possible. And, circumstances, because as we sit right now, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room with what we can do. Who knows what's going to be here by October?
Right. That's awesome. Well, good for you for doing that.
I can't wait.
You said it was October, you said? Was the date?
What's that? October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Beautiful.
So that's really cool you're doing that. That's awesome.
We're going to save it. We'll do our Good Brother at Night epised, which will be extra dirty.
Good Brother at Night.
Yeah.
Sounds like it should be on like a Showcase.
We're gonna do softcore porn. Is that okay?
Pick up the phone.
I'm not actually gonna penetrate Eric, but it's gonna look like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Who here's old enough?
My shirt will be off.
Oh,
I am. I'm old enough.
You're old enough for Blue Nuit?
Oh yeah.
Was that the thing on Channel 7 that was like porn, but it wasn't?
Channel 7. It depends where you live.
Yeah, but yeah, like 12:30 every Saturday night or something. Bleu Nuit came on, and it was on the French channel, and I had no idea what Bleu Nuit meant because I've never been able to speak French. And I said the term Bleu Nuit. I didn't think it was something very offensive. And my French teacher goes, "What do you know about Bleu Nuit?" And I'm
as he's unzipping his pants. Oh, that's come on, Joe. Where is it? That's not right. That's
the blue nipple.
Right. Is that what it means?
No, it's the Blue Night.
Oh, well, that's
close.
not so bad.
Yeah, that's no,
close.
That's
You were
not
close.
right.
That wasn't close at all.
You got blue. That's all you got.
That's
Okay,
not
we're
right.
running over here. Matthew Terry, where can everybody find all that stuff online?
And your podcast.
Everything's is centralized basically at itstimetoffight.ca. All the information about my podcast, all the past episodes,
Awesome.
all the information pertaining to Wrestling with ALS. We have a Father's Day episode coming up this Sunday, June 20th. An episode that turned into something a lot different than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bunch of guys just like, oh, let me tell you the story about me and my dad running into Jeff Jarrett in a bar one time and getting absolutely sloshed. It turned into a very sentimental and very heartfelt episode, and I was very surprised, and I'm very happy with how that came out.
Wow.
But yeah, everything's basically centralized at itstimetoffight.ca. There's videos, there's podcasts, there's all kinds of old stuff, new stuff, all kinds of stuff on there.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Okay, Matthew Terry, thank you much. I'm sober, by the way. I haven't had a drink. I haven't had an edible. Thank you very much.
Coming in, you can mess it up going out.
There we go.
That's right.
He usually does.
Hey, guess what? That's the end of the show, folks.
Thanks, Matthew Terry.
The show on the
Appreciate it.
road.
Thanks.
He hit the right button.
Oh, yeah.